And that actually, it was great.
You did a shoulder roll, which means what?
You just go over. It's like a stunt,
right.
you know. Usually you'd have a stunt person doing that. And we had one on the set, but I wanted to do it myself. So I did that, and then they put a harness on you, and you're hoisted up, and, you know, God, I almost died.
But it's fun to do. Do you like to do your own stunts?
Oh, yeah. I have a ball doing it.
You also do choreography. You do
yes,
it.
yes.
You're so talented. You're also in a movie together. The Muppets Take Manhattan.
Right, yes, right.
But I work with Miss Piggy. Who'd you work with?
I worked with Kermit.
Didn't you love working with them? Were they brilliant?
They were so brilliant. And I had never really, you know, met any of the puppeteers or anything. And I'd never met Kermit. And oh my God, I mean, he's heartbreakingly wonderful. He what a character.
And you would talk to them and absolutely forget.
Yeah.
It was a puppet.
Completely.
I mean, I really had a conversation off camera with
yes,
Piggy.
I did too.
Like, stupid. I had my mom.
Well, they
were you dating?
Well, they have you in these they're in the trenches, and then I was behind a desk. So actually, from my perspective, I couldn't see Jim or any of the other puppeteers. And when they called the break, you know, they all have their arms up with the puppets, and so the puppets came down, all except for Kermit. And so we're on a break. Everyone's kind of like not here, and Kermit is just right in front of me, looking kind of at this little mirror, like kind of. You know, I mean, like primping, and I literally said, "What are you doing?" You know, and you know, and Jim loves to fool around like that, so he just he loved to.
Well, a
God
pleasure
bless
to
him.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm glad we consider we co-starred in the movies together.
Listen, I do have a gift for you, though.
Oh yes,
one of my
anything.
fans gave me this, and I think it's very appropriate for you. If I can find it,
All
of
right,
course.
take
Yes.
your time.
No, here it is. You know, we have these uniforms, and we beam. We talk to each other, and we can beam out with this. Well, one of my fans made me this, except it's got a Groucho Marx face on it.
Great.
And basically, I did some research, Joan, and Groucho is in the 24th century. So whenever you want to beam up with him, just put this on and just like, and he'll be there.
That's
for you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
We'll be right back with Pulitzer Prize winning author Richard Rose.
Prize is all new, 8 times bigger, and the crew is all new as well.
I have no problem with following any rules you lay down, short of compromising your safety.
One further thing.
Anything, sir.
I'm not a family man, Riker, and yet Starfleet has given me a ship with children aboard. But since a captain needs an image of geniality, you're to see that's what I project.
Aye, sir. Welcome to the Enterprise, Commander Riker.
For those who love the old Star Trek, one of the most innovative television shows of the 60s, this new version, Star Trek The Next Generation, is catching on as a worthy successor. Distinguished British actor Patrick Stewart plays Commander Jean-Luc Picard, and Jonathan Frakes plays his number 1, Commander William Riker, and both are joining us this morning from Los Angeles. Good morning to the two of you.
Good morning.
The shakedown cruise is over now, I guess. You've had a few months on the Enterprise. What is the verdict, Patrick, of the Trekkers? Do they take you as a good successor? Are you being accepted?
The verdict of the Trekkers is probably very close to that of the driver who brought us in this morning, who told me that he was uneasy about the idea of a new series, but after exposure to the pilot, that he was completely persuaded and convinced, not only that we were in the direct line of the original Star Trek, but that it was also something that was new and exciting and entirely acceptable.
Well, that's very... Jonathan, do you worry about those people? I mean, do you have it in the back of your mind that those people are watching you with an extraordinarily critical eye?
I worry less than I did when we began. It was a very skeptical audience, primarily, and I think, as Patrick pointed out, I think we won them over. I trust we won them over.
You know what I think their unease was? That we were going to attempt to repeat the same thing, that it would be some attempt to carbon copy the original, and I think the charm of the show is that it's a development. It's moved on from the original.
Well, let me get to the critical question. Have you guys been able to save the universe yet?
Oh, that's a long job. That can't be done in 6 months, John.
That is a long job.
Yeah.
Little corners of it here and there. They're now safer and more secure and happier. They've had more laughs since we arrived. That's
Well, it's a dirty job, but you two guys, I guess, have to do it. Patrick, you come out of the Royal Shakespeare Company, a distinguished acting background. When you do something like this, is there a tendency to treat it a little bit as camp?
as You think that Shakespeare isn't camp?
Well, in some